Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome to Curiosity Cove. My name is Veda,
my name is Chucky.
and today we're going to be talking about some very special champions from League of Legends. But first, how are you? How's your day?
I'm doing great, fresh off of work, ready to get into some league moment. We
Excellent.
love
Yeah,
league.
we were talking before about how Chocky is falling down the K-pop rabbit hole. So
This is so true. I'm addicted. I can't
I'm
stop.
so excited that you're addicted, though. I can't wait to have like K-pop girly pop night.
Oh my God, literally. Could it be every night? Like all I want to do is watch
Just
these men dance around.
wait, just imagine night by night we're just staring at. Honestly, though, I gave a lot of my life to K-pop, and that has happened to me. Where I've had like weeks where I would come home from work and I would just sit in front of the TV, and all I would do is watch K-pop music videos because the dancing is just like so
Honestly,
impressive and like
it goes crazy. The
it
the Smasher
does
Pass K-pop nights, I feel like it's just the heart and soul of
literally.
everything that
I
everything that
mean,
girly pop stands for.
I had a blast with you watching K-pop because for me it's
So
nostalgic,
fun.
and then for you I get to introduce you to all these bangers. So
Gosh, so good.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, for context for today on the champion spotlights that we've chosen, we've each like selected a champion that we love, and for those who know our relationship in League, we do have this ongoing, totally real, like we're going to make it to Worlds duo of me playing Seraphine support and Chalky
Me playing
playing,
Yuumi,
yeah,
Yuumi ADC.
yeah, number
So,
one NA Yuumi ADC. You've never seen anything like it
they can't do it
whatsoever.
like me. The Yuumi ADC goes crazy.
So we've decided on those two champs. Do you want to go first, or should I go first, or
I can go first. It's completely up to you.
okay,
But
excellent. Let
that
me get
that would
this.
work.
Let me get. We have visual aids for you guys.
Yes, we do have visual aids today. And we
Um,
have surprise visual aids for each other, so
oh
should be
yes,
fun.
that's
Should be
true.
fun.
We have not at all seen each other's, which is like it's
Yes.
very exciting to me because you're like a shitposting superlord sometimes, so I don't know what to expect here.
I'm a little bit of a shit poster. Okay. So Yuumi, right? She is Bandle City. It's that's where they're from, the land of the Yordles. Okay. The abilities that she has is Feline Friendship, which is the passive heal ability. So it's like you don't have to do anything. It's just what sometimes when you hit your Qs, they get heals. Prowling projectile fires a missile that like deals damage, and when you're on a champ, you can control where it goes. If you're off a champ, it just kind of shoots. You and Me is the untargetable, kind of like the fact that they're on. Again, it's not another active, but it's like just hopping on them. And then Zoomies is like boosts attack speed and actual movement speed, and provides a shield, so kind of baller. The final chapter, the waves that deal damage to enemies and heal allies. That's
Excellent.
the abilities.
I honestly have never seen like the little icons for her, but You and Me is like this is what I picture when I picture Yumi as a champion.
Right?
Like
Like
that is
like
the epitome of Yumi.
Okay, Yumi's cons, okay? She's attention seeking, okay? She's for the team. She is not loyal. She's drawn to vices and she's really hard to play, okay? As NA number 1 ADC Yuumi, she is very difficult to play.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
yeah, she's a hard character to play. So if you guys after this you guys are thinking about picking up Yuumi, I would just say be careful cuz it's very hard.
The skill cap is ever rising. So,
It is.
yeah.
It is. It's difficult. The pros is cat. Like come on. I don't know what else to say about
Sometimes
pros.
she is so cute, and other times I think she is like such a gremlin.
When you're like spamming the fishy fish fish and
Oh,
it's it's so annoying.
she's such an enraging support to play against because her high pitched, like the last thing that you want to hear is like her. What does she say when she ults?
Fuck, I don't know, but she's but
Whatever
there's a
that
lot of
voice
really
line
annoying
is,
ones.
yeah, whatever that voice line, I block it out honestly because I can't stand playing against a Yuumi attached to like, I don't know, an
It's
MF's
like,
hip or
woo, here
something.
we go, or
Yeah, but like
something.
whatever it
Yeah.
is, that's the last thing I want to hear before the waves come down. I'm slowed and then I'm just obliterated. Like it is so
Yeah.
aggravating.
Okay, so these are the vices that they are
Mhm.
drawn to. She loves fish and naps,
Yeah.
and this is what Yumi is always like be doing if she's not,
Hmm.
trailing around on somebody.
Have you ever seen the video of the girl who is like playing Yumi support and she's like cooking a meal, going grocery shopping?
Yeah,
Like, it's
I love
so good.
the Yumi like baking cookies, like baking cookies while
Yes.
playing Yumi. It's so
It's
good.
so
Oh my
good.
goodness.
Okay, lore time.
Okay, lore. Okay. So, in the outlands of Bandle City, okay,
Hmm.
there's a cottage. And there's an oh my god, enchantress named Nora who lived there with her cat Yumi. This is Nora on the screen. She kind of cute. Like I
Wait,
like
oh,
her.
this is Nora, like at the book?
Yeah.
Wait, she's
Yeah,
adorable.
right? I know. Like she's kind of like a bunny yordle kind of,
Hmm.
I don't know, but she's a cutie. Um so born with the magical powers of protection, Yumi enjoyed a life of leisure, pouncing sunbeams and napping beneath the mouse trees. Whatever a
Okay.
mouse tree is. I don't have visual for a mouse
I
tree,
am
but
picturing, you know how people throw like tennis shoes over power lines, and so it's just like
yeah.
I imagine like the tail of the mice wrapped around the branch and they're just chilling. Like they're just
See,
hanging
that's
from the branch.
exactly how I was seeing it. Like the leaves, like the stem of the leaf is the mouse tail.
Right, right.
Yeah. Um, so like her and Nora would just like go on explorations across the material and the spirit realms using Nora's Book of Thresholds. So she has a magic book.
Oh. Wait, I
So that
love
is Nora's
this.
book, right?
So her
So it
book that she's like chilling around, like that she's sitting on all the time, that's Nora's book?
Yeah, so that's Nora's book.
Oh.
And it like anything inside the pages of the book, like if there's a land in the pages, they can just teleport to it. So
What?
like yeah.
These fuck
So
they're
like it's pretty
isekaiing
cool.
themselves.
Yeah, they can just TP
That's
using the book.
crazy. What do you
Yeah.
think would happen? Do you think it could like span to fictional? Like what if they like opened up like a map of like I don't know, Lord of the Rings? Like do you think
I
we
don't
could
know.
get Nora and
That would be really sick though. It
could
says
you
the material
imagine?
and this and the spirit realms. So
Right.
like
So like if it
who
exists
knows?
on another plane of existence, like could we theoretically have Nora and Yumi in our world?
It is possible.
Oh.
It is possible. Um So, like, Nora would like spend her time collecting like strange objects like broken cups, shards
Mhm.
of colored glass, and like fabric and stuff.
Okay.
And like she like
Weird
examined all
flex.
the art. Yeah, right? Like she would like examine and just like look at her artifacts and like Yumi never understood it. And like but Yumi would like protect her anyways and would warm her feet. Like
Oh,
she's yeah,
like
she's
a
just her
good
buddy.
kitty.
Nora and Yumi were kind of like the Bandle City Ariel and Flounder, Ariel.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
collecting
Okay, okay,
the
okay.
worldly objects.
Good analogy. I like it. Thingamajigs and whatchamacallits.
Exactly.
Right.
And like so Yumi would like watch as other Yordles like waited for days for like pathways to appear, but Nora and them would just like instantly travel anywhere. So like anything that was depicted in the pages of the books they could go where
That's
they just
so
kind of were like
OP.
they're like teehee, you
Yeah.
can't find a portal.
Wow, so Yumi's well traveled then, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she just kept Nora safe. Nora loved to go everywhere.
Oh,
And like yeah, it's
it's
pretty
kind of
cool.
cute.
So one night she never like paid attention to the book, but she like returned home from like luring moon moths, I guess. A
Hmm.
moon moth is something. And she found that Nora was missing, right?
No.
So she saw that the book on the master's desk was like flipped through all the pages and like noticed that some of them were torn out. So like she cried out in distress, calling it simply book, and the book wiggled. And Yuumi was surprised to learn that she could understand the thoughts, like she could understand the book.
her and the her and the book could telepathically communicate.
Yeah, like they could speak to each other.
She could talk to a book.
Yeah.
She, a cat, a talking cat, could talk to a book.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. So they could communicate.
Bandle City's wild, dude.
It is. It is like I don't know. Also, does book say anything in the game? Like
I
I
mean,
don't
I
think so.
don't play Yuumi, but I've never heard any voice come from her that wasn't like her own. I wonder if maybe
Yeah.
she has voice lines though, where she says like "book says" or "book told me" or something.
I think she does have like a couple like that. When I was looking through the voice lines and stuff, I think there was a couple that were like
Yeah,
she definitely talks to the book a lot, but
interesting.
I don't know if the book talks back.
What if it's just like her like cat brain thinking that it's not like she's hearing her own thoughts, but she thinks it's the book's thoughts.
Oh my God. What
Imagine.
if she's like a little bit schizo? Like,
I mean, she's kind of like I've seen some memes. She looks like she's been through some shit sometimes.
yeah, well, the thing is the book, whenever like Nora and Yumi would travel somewhere, the book like put like they jump through the pages through the portal, and then the book usually appears like slightly
Mhm.
after. So it's really weird the fact that the book was still on the desk and Nora was gone.
Mhm. Yeah, that is
So
interesting.
Yumi learned that Nora had gone somewhere like so perilous that it had destroyed the portal as she traveled.
Oh my god.
So it was somewhere like so
So the book
crazy.
couldn't get through with her,
Yeah,
basically. Okay.
yeah. So to rescue Nora, she turned to the book for help. Each of its 1,000 pages led to different locations along the lines of magic that crossed the material and spirit realms. So she was just traveling.
Wow.
But the page that Nora had used to travel was lost. So
Ugh, of
like
course.
yeah, because it was so perilous it just broke and tore
Is
out.
that what the
Like
is that what the item lost chapter is?
it could be, yeah, because the final chapter is the alt.
Oh, I
Ooh,
wonder if lost chapter the item component is like related to this lore story.
it could be
Wait,
because it
that's
kind of
so
makes
interesting.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Wait, dope.
That is pretty cool.
Okay, wait, so wait, did she like actually figure out anything about the place or what happens next?
Okay. So like she found out that like okay, she can't get exactly where Nora traveled, but
Hmm.
hopefully they could get somewhere close,
Hmm.
right? So, vowing to protect it with the courage of a lion,
Okay.
she decided that she would try to find Nora and take care of the book, right? Protect the book because if it fell into the wrong hands, the doorways to Bandle City would open to all kinds of like ravenous
Oh.
intruders, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she was like, I'm gonna protect the book.
Right, right, right.
Um, so Yumi would always get distracted by the fish and the napping,
Hmm.
but the book would kind of be like, "Hey, wake up! Like, we have a mission."
I love the idea that this cat is just being a cat, like snoozing, like snacking on some yums and stuff, and the book is like keeping her in check. Like, hey, I know you're a cat and all, but like we've got stuff to do.
Step it up, step it up. So like Yumi, when Yumi like especially missed Nora, she often sought out other companions. Just like your e-girl in Swift plays, she gets lonely. Um, But she finally uncovered the scent of her master, lingering in a vast Schwarmian ruin. Okay?
Hmm. I love that
Or
you say
Schwarmian.
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 It kills me.
Shawarma moment.
It kills me every time when you go to say Sharima and you say Shwarm. It's so good. Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
Shuriman.
You can say Shwarman. I know what you mean.
Okay. So in a Shorman ruin, she was like digging deep in the sand, and she unearthed a shard of broken blue pottery that looked like a piece from Nora's teapots. Okay,
Hmm.
so she was like, "Whoa! In this weird Shormian ruin, there's a, one of her master's broken teapots."
Oh.
So before she could burrow any further, a ferocious beast surfaced from the sand, and Yumi and Book barely escaped. So that lead was a
Barely.
bust.
Damn.
Yeah. So Though unlikely companions, Yuumi and Book have become best friends, and they're united for their love for Nora. Yuumi continues to search everywhere for signs of her master, so she can someday return to her life of napping in the sun by Nora's side. So
Damn.
that's her lore, and that's where the story takes us to present day.
That's kind of sad. So she's just kind of like ever searching. You know what it reminds me of, which is like kind of sad, is
But,
what was the really cute Shiba that waited, like searched and waited for his owner at the train station?
oh my god,
Do you know what I'm talking
no,
about?
yeah,
I that
oh my
it's
god,
that's what it reminds me of. It's just like that, like yeah, Hachiko. Thank you, Kilo.
it's so sad.
But yeah, it reminds me of that, like the bond between the two, and just like feeling the need to get back to them. That's actually kind of sad. Poor Yuumi.
Right? I know, it is pretty sad. Like, yeah.
Wait, so that's really it on the lore? We don't know if she ever finds Nora.
No, she's still searching for her master, right? Like in her voice lines, like she's always like, I've only got you, Book, or something, and then she's like searching for your master. These are some of my favorite voice lines
Okay.
from Yuumi that I didn't know existed. So she says, "You hungry? I got a leftover rat on page 237." Meow. I don't know.
Oh
It's
my
just like
god.
what?
It's crazy because Yuumi is a champion that just like I feel like fits your chaotic energy so well. Like like seeing
Right.
this voice line, like of course this is something you resonate with.
I know, there's like so many to choose from. I was like, whoa, she has so many voice lines. Like, what the fuck? Okay. She also says, I'm gonna eat all your leaves and throw them up. But she says that to like Maokai, Ivern, and
Oh, like
Zyra.
all of
Like
like the
the leaves.
nature jams.
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat all your leaves and throw them up is such an iconic line.
I know. Like, what? Also, fun fact, Yuumi has a pentakill line. Um, in case you didn't know.
um,
I
I
may
want
be
to
the
see
only
a
person.
I want to see a pentakill from Yuumi so bad.
I mean, I'm just saying, I've heard this line like every single game I
Oh
play,
yeah,
like
for sure.
because I get
Right, number one.
pentakills.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You get a bunch of pentakills on Yuumi
Of course. So like, I only know this line not because like the internet, but because I get
because
it
you've
all the
done
time.
it, right? Of course.
Of course. Okay. I think this is my final slide, and the last one that I have is the skins, which is UB, Heartseeker, Lust,
Heart
Valentine's
Heart
emote.
Seeker, I think is my or Sweetheart maybe.
I don't actually know what, and then there's like Professor Shiba Yumi, Halloween Yumi, and then EDG Yumi.
That's so
But
the Bewitching Yuumi, like the Halloween one, it's so cute.
it
The
is,
little
oh my gosh.
pumpkin cat head thing, it's adorable.
Yes, they are. I do really like them. Fun fact, I own every Yumi skin.
Do you really?
Yeah, except
Oh
for
my
the EDG one, which
god.
I've been
Wait.
debating getting to complete my collection, but like I know I'll never use it because like I love Bewitching, I love Heartseeker, and I love the Shiba
Yeah.
and the Bee one. I don't like the Professor one, but I got it because it was on sale, and I was
Right,
like,
right. And you have to have all of them because you're the number one NA Yuumi. So it's
exactly,
like
like
required.
it's all from
Um
sponsors too, you
EDG
know,
is a
so
world
it's
skin though, right? So it's only available when Worlds is happening, right?
is it?
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I saw it in my shop a couple of times. I thought about getting it,
Oh, okay.
but
So maybe it's not like that. I thought that world skins were only available during worlds, but maybe that's like maybe they're just on sale or something or on special during worlds. Or maybe there's certain ones you can't get that you can get
yeah, I mean,
during
I know
worlds.
Yumi skins are in high demand, but just to say,
Yeah, I'm sure they're absolutely in highest demand.
yeah.
Okay. Let me get out of here and get mine going.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Mine is a little I kind of might have gone a little extra with mine.
Okay, I'm
Maybe.
here for it.
Okay. Okay. So, Seraphine. Um I just want to start this off with Seraphine is a main of mine. I do have an upwards of 150,000 mastery points on her. I am Mastery 7. She was the first champ I got Mastery 7 on, and I hate her like a lot, actually.
Okay, okay. Is there some explanation behind your rage there?
um there is. So when I started playing, you know Cap, obviously, right?
Hmm.
When I started playing, Cap and I like learned, like she taught me in the bot lane together.
Okay.
And when I was learning with her, like she played Sona and I played Seraphine, and
Okay.
it was all Gucci, right? We were killing it in lane. It was like super super fun. Um and so I was like, damn, I should like really like learn Seraphine professionally and like take her into norms and like, you know, like have fun with her. And the more that I listened to her voice and her voice lines, the more I wanted to absolutely cry. She like sucks a little bit. And
Okay.
it's like not because she is a bad champ or anything. Like she's actually a very very good champ. It's just that like her like story and her voice lines and like everything about her is so like bubbly and irritating that like
Okay.
like sometimes it's a little rough for me to like play her. But she is like her lore is like very much on the bitchy side because like her original lore and her current lore are completely different. So
Okay.
we'll go through, I have her updated lore, but I'll go through the original one when we get there. But we'll start with her abilities. So her whole deal is music, right?
Hmm.
She is basically like her nickname is like the singing songstress or like the super songstress or something like that.
Okay.
And she basically has a passive that builds on this whole like music thing. It's called stage presence. So basically every third ability she uses casts twice. So like if she it's called an echo, and every time that she gets this echo, whatever her next ability is, she casts it a second time in a row. So,
Cool.
for instance, if you use your double Q instead of doing like one AoE attack, you do two right in a row. So it's actually like very busted. I love Seraphine. Um
Yep.
Additionally with her passive, if she's already shielded, she nearby allies, if she presses her W or if she like does anything, they basically get like the buff from it. They get what's called notes. And when she does her double W, that's like the biggest example that I have, she gets like this max stack of notes, and it allows her next basic ability to do just like a whole bunch of damage. So like if you're ever laning with a Seraphine, you might notice that she like throws all of her abilities out there, and then she does like one single attack on a minion and it does like half the minion's health. It's because all of these notes stack up with her passive. um
Okay. That's pretty cool.
it is actually like, is she honestly, I really think that she's kind of a busted character if you know how to use her, like if you know how to manage the echo and everything. um but
So
her
it's the third time using each of them, like so you can stack them. So like you could do two Qs, two Ws, two Es, and the next time you use it,
So
like
it's just every third ability. So like if you
oh,
Q
okay.
E W, your next one is going to be double whatever you choose it as.
Oh,
So
and does it work with alt? Like
it doesn't. Her ult is like completely separate. However, I'll explain my personal combo afterwards because like I think there's like a trick and I think it's pretty commonly used, but I never looked up like a how to play Seraphine guide or anything. I just kind of like figured it out. Like I just like really resonated with her in the beginning. Like I think it was like my second game playing her, I got an S plus, and all of my friends were like, "No, no, no, you have found your champ." And now I actually hate it because they all have me downloaded as Seraphine, and I'm like, "No, I want to be a Diana," and they're like, "You can't. You're a Seraphine." Um, so,
nice try, nice try.
I gave it a shot. Okay. But yeah, her specific abilities. Her Q is called High Note. Basically, it does a projectile and it deals damage like in a circle. That damage is increased when the target is missing more health. So like there's a percentage of missing health that is added onto the damage of her Q, which means the more hurt they are, the more it actually damages them. When you have an echoed Q, so when your passive has built up, it does that twice in a row, meaning the second one will always have more damage because the health will be dropped a little bit. Her
Okay.
W is a shield. It says Seraphine surrounds her nearby allies in a song, granting herself and allies movement speed and a shield. If Seraphine is already shielded, she can heal her nearby allies, restoring health based on how many allies are near her, which means when it comes time to team fight, saving that echo, that like doubled ability, is really good for your W, because you can,
Okay.
if you hit all of your teammates, that's a fat heal.
Yeah.
So I usually save my echo for a W or an E if my lane is going really bad. If it's going really good, it's double Q all day. um
Okay.
so her E is Seraphine unleashes a heavy sound wave, dealing magic damage to enemies in a line and slowing them. Enemies that are already slowed are rooted. Enemies that are already rooted are stunned. So,
Oh.
yes, it is amazing playing her as a support for someone like Jin, because if
Mm.
he roots somebody, I can throw my E onto them and they're now stunned. It's so busted. But then if somebody is slowed, I can pop an echoed E to send out 2 sound waves that will then root them and then stun them in place. So that echo is really, really good to get the hang of, because it's like as soon as she's pretty good without keeping track of her passive, but like if you know how to place that passive ability on something, like if you know when to double your Q, your W, your E, or whatever, you can really, really set things up for like to feed your ADC, or people take her mid lane, I take her mid lane, and you can use it to your
Mhm.
advantage a lot because her ult, it's really easy to set it up. Basically, it's a charm. It's just like a very long charm. And if you hit somebody, it extends another full length. So, like, if you hit an ally who's in front of an enemy, you can actually charm that enemy towards your ally. Or if you hit an enemy and they're kind of lined up with other enemies, your charm keeps going. And it's supposed to be like based off of this like idea that the performance is extended with every person that hears it. Um
Oh, okay, that's
mhm.
encore. That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. And so it extends the range and it grants all allies maximum notes. So those like buffs basically. And yeah, it's crazy too, because like I have, when I was first playing her, I have accidentally KS'd with it because in late game it actually does a shit ton of magic damage, which I
Okay.
had no idea. So yeah, basically my combo is I usually save my echo for E until I get Rylai's, because Rylai's allows you to basically just root anybody with a single E. It's very busted. So I usually save my double E, and then if I have my alt, the second that they're stunned, I drop a Q on them. I pop my alt, and then I W to get closer to them, auto them, and try to Q them again. That's like my combo, which makes sense to me because then you're back up to where you have like a echo, so you can double E them again and basically just lay into them. It's
Yeah.
really nasty.
Honestly, this sounds super toxic.
Yeah.
Into it.
So do you see why I hate her? She is actually a very toxic support champ for sure. But she holds
Yeah.
her own in mid lane. Like I know she was originally meant to be a mid laner, and she still holds her own there really well. Like
Hmm.
it shocks me sometimes. But that's all for her abilities. I wouldn't say she's a super hard champ to learn, but I would think that her difficulty is maybe a little above that of like an average support, because you have to keep in mind that like it's kind of like Jin with the crit shot thing. Like you don't necessarily have to wait for a reload like you do Jin, but you do kind of have to keep something in mind where if your lane's going really bad, like you kind of have to play around maybe saving that echo for the W to heal you and
Hmm.
your ally. Um, but overall, I think she's kind of brain dead. So she is very toxic, though. I love her and I hate her. It's a very strange relationship we have. But her lore, I despite the fact that she was the first champ that I picked up and like mastered and everything, I had no idea what her lore was like. I knew the bad bits of it because I remember when she was released and everybody hated her lore. But I didn't know the full story. So basically, Seraphine was born to two parents from Zon, and they wanted to give her a better life, so they kind of worked their asses off to get themselves like property and a shop up in Piltover. And
Mm.
even though she was born to both of them, I'm actually not sure if she was born in Zon, but I don't think so. I think she was a Pilty from the start. And they gave birth to her. They kind of raised her up there. She had developed this passion for music, just like her dad. Her dad used to sing her these like very beautifully tragic lullabies, and she always kind of clung to them. And her dad was a huge music fan. He actually had what's called a hex acoustics shop, so it had a lot to do with sound. Um,
Okay.
and she had a room above the shop, and oftentimes what she would do is kind of like open up the window of this workshop and listen to the melody of the streets, and she would sing along with the streets. That's what she saw it as.
Oh.
Um, Over time, these voices on the streets started to get more deep and intimate and showing parts of maybe people's quote unquote songs that they didn't want others to hear. And she kind of started getting overwhelmed because she realized that what she was hearing was the music of people's souls. So whether or not the souls were good or bad, their music was echoing that to her, and she was just constantly hearing this. Um, which I think
Oh.
is nuts, because imagine looking at someone and you just hear like, I don't know, like the most like illogical, dissonant, like terrible song, and you're like, oh my god, this person's a
Yeah.
bad person.
Well, and that would also be like you know what my like least wanted superpower would be to read other people's thoughts.
Yeah.
Because like there's some things you should not be hearing and some things you should not know.
So I
Like,
so agree with that. I think like telepathy or like mind reading would be terrible because like
yeah.
I'm sure you could control it, but like the urge would always be there, right? And like someday,
Yeah.
somehow, you're gonna hear something that you don't want to. And so
Exactly.
that's actually kind of exactly what happened to her. Like the lore story basically said that one day she was in the corner of her room covering her ears, like trying to shut out the noise because she couldn't hear her own song. And
Yeah.
so she was becoming like, super overwhelmed. This beautiful melody that used to run through Piltover became this, disorganized, dissonant symphony of all of these different intimate songs from people. And her parents basically like watched this go on, and they decided to spend all of their savings, because imagine having super supportive loving parents. They spent all of their
Mm.
savings on a rare hex tech crystal and used that to design and build a dampener for her magic. So I'm not
Mm.
entirely sure how it worked. Like I know that it was something that was on her person, but I don't know if it was like a belt that she wore, if it was like, something that she put on her wrist or something. All I know is that when she put on the dampener, or when she used the dampener, it gave her that silence. Like all of the chaos and all of the, symphonies that were going on around her, they ceased. So she didn't have to be overwhelmed and hear all of these, you know, terrible or overwhelming songs that she was hearing before. But among that silence, she could hear her own voice, and she could
Oh
hear
shit.
another one.
Oh.
This is where the lore splits, because previously that voice was a Bracken, which is Skarner's people. You know who Skarner is, right? He's like the
Yeah.
crystal scorpion jungler.
Oh. Okay.
So his entire race is extinct. I think he's like the
Okay.
last of his race. And this crystal previously in the lore it was made of Bracken blood. It still is, but it was very known to Seraphine that this was a Bracken crystal. like that it was Skarner's dead people that were within this crystal, and she was just fine with it. And so like
Okay.
people did not like her very much because her lore was centered around using like a dead people's consciousness to power herself. But they've changed that since. So now she's not sure what the voice is. She just knows that the crystal that was used to make her a dampener is conscious, that there is a voice within it, that it is not just an empty hex tech crystal. So
Okay.
essentially, she is ignorant to this, but she does look to the voice for guidance. And essentially, the voice says a bunch of profound stuff to her about how we, carve our own destiny, or, we're louder than the songs that we sing, or some very like profound thing like that. And it basically guides her to to learn how to quote unquote resonate with the crowd. So
Okay.
as time goes on, with the help of this voice, she uses the dampener less and less. So she allows herself to hear these songs of people nearby, and then turns what she hears into kind of like a reflective song. So she pulls inspiration from everyone around her and the music she hears from them, and she writes her own music with that. So she starts performing these songs in Piltover, and people like loved her. She was like,
Okay.
she performed in a crowd, people started coming up to her, and then like the next week there were like diehard fans outside of all of the biggest venues in Piltover, just like ready to hear her pop off on stage.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay. One thing,
mhm.
is she considered like is her zone considered Piltover?
So yeah, she's technically Piltover.
Okay.
Even though she is of Zon blood, technically,
Hmm.
they were able to raise her from from a child, like a wee babby. They were able to raise her in Piltover. So it allowed her
Okay.
to kind of grow up in like the city of progress, and like she got to be part of this, because I mean, Piltover and Zon from when we talked about it last time.
Oh yeah.
Zon is very much like,
They took her out of the slums. They're like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna try to give you a better
yeah.
life than what we had.
Exactly.
They're
Hmm.
like,
That
yeah.
was their whole goal. And they were ready to like, they spent like all of their savings on her twice by this point. So like she was a very fortunate child. Like
Mm.
her parents gave her everything. Um and it's funny because they did all of this work to keep her out of Zon, like to keep her from having to grow up and know the struggles in Zon. However,
Yeah.
as she was gathered, or like as the masses gathered to listen to her songs, and she was able to, give this gift of music to everyone, she just couldn't help feel that something was missing both in the performance and in herself. So she went looking for answers in Zon. Um, so it's one of those things of like, imagine your parents do everything in their power to get you out of this slummy place, and then you feel like you don't know who you are, so you're like, I'm gonna go to the slummy place.
I mean, everybody's got to learn from themselves.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like she has that opportunity, which is amazing, but
Hmm.
she's gonna do what she's gonna do.
Yeah. And so yeah, so she did just that. She said in the lore, it said that as she rode the elevator down, or the lift down to Zon, she could hear a song that reminded her of Piltover, but it had more of this sense of fear and sadness and struggle. So Piltover and Zon were almost singing the same song with different tunes, so it was
Okay.
like, it was kind of like, imagine hearing a song and it's in like a major chord, like a major chord scheme or whatever,
Hmm.
like super happy and upbeat, and hearing the same song but it was kind of more on the melodic, like melancholy side. That's kind of the dissonance that she was hearing between the two of them. So she
Okay.
started spending more time in Zon, and as she did, she actually felt like she belonged more down there. Like Piltover felt less and less like home. So her goal became to teach the two cities that they are singing harmonies with each other and unite them. So
Oh.
It's very cool. This honestly, reading through this made me like, I like her like a tiny bit more now as a champion, like just a teeny bit. But yeah, so she goes back over to Piltover, convinces her parents to help her out. They say, anything for you, sweetheart. And
We're
so
like W parents, like what?
honestly though, literally the most supportive parents. Like
like
I
it's just
cannot
like
think. You have people out there like Kaisa who's constantly searching for her dad, and yours has like spent his entire life savings 2 or 3 times on you. Like,
yeah.
I
And
hope she
now
feels
is ready to
fortunate.
help you try to perform unity between two very strong different
Like,
nations.
yeah,
Like what?
for real. Like, your parents were just kind of like, yeah, we trust you. Like, we're gonna help you. Like, dude, my mom would never. She'd be like, you are crazy. You get back into that room, you write your cute little songs, and maybe we don't go to Zon anymore.
Go perform for the Piltoverians. Come on,
Yeah.
go.
My mom would actually be one of those people who's like, you know how much money we spent making sure you never had to be down there, and you turn around and you spend your weekends down there. Like, she'd be so upset with me.
Oh my god.
But her parents are amazing, and they said, yes, of course we'll help you. So what they did was they dismantled her dampener and they rehoused the crystal in her platform that you see her on. And she used that platform to actually enhance her abilities so that she could fly and use it as a stage between Piltover and Zon to perform for both cities at the same time. Now, I think if anybody else were to do this, like Pentakill, if they were to do it, I don't know that it would have the same effect, but who knows?
Like one of the Zonians be like, ah, she's so clean. She's like, like wouldn't
do you
they
think
be
they're
like
offended?
Loki, like...
Do you think they're offended by clean things, Chocky?
No, I don't think that Zon is offended by clean things, but I feel like they're like, who is this pink hair preppy little lady who's
I
like
don't
singing on the
know.
stage above us? Like,
Honestly,
I don't know.
I would be really interested in like a future season. It doesn't have to be the next one, but in a future season of Arcane, like seeing Seraphine interact with Zon. Like, I think
I couldn't imagine her like just floating between in that
she's
gas
so
layer.
like positive and like bright and bubbly.
Yeah.
It's just not something you would expect to see from Zon, you know? But
we're
like
predicting Seraphine in season 2 of Arcane. Literally, Riot hire us, Korea hire
I mean,
us.
so here's the thing. Korea hire us. We have great K-drama ideas.
We have great K-drama ideas, please.
I like how we're just any platform we can get our word out of, like, Korea, trust me, we know what we're doing. But yeah, so I mean, like, I don't know, because season 1 had Pentakill posters, so obviously they're keeping that kind of like Piltover having musical acts thing real, or like Runeterra having musical acts. So Seraphine could be a thing. So if she is gonna be in season 2, or if she is gonna have like a full ass role, I think that would be really sick. I would be super interested to see how they portray her, because one of my biggest complaints was when I learned she was from Piltover, I did not believe that at all. I was like, Piltover has very like vintage steampunky fashion, and she is straight up like a pop star princess. But
exactly.
then,
And like, but she kind of fits Zon a little bit, which is what I was gonna say. Like where like I saw when I saw her sitting on the like in that first picture that you had up, when she was like sitting on that railing, yeah, I could totally see her as like a Zon bubblegum princess.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, is that like, I mean, people don't fit their surroundings all the time, right? So like, her being in Zon isn't as weird to me as like, it's almost like when you see her in Piltover, except for this picture right here from Legends of Runeterra. Yeah. When you see pictures like this, it feels like she does not belong in Piltover. Like, that's not her vibe, you know? So
and she could feel it too, I guess. So,
yeah, so
like...
I mean, I guess maybe that is supposed to be apparent through the way that she is so different, because yeah, she resonates with everybody because she can hear their music and appreciate it and understand it, but where she really feels herself fitting is Zon, and so maybe that just makes sense. And Zon likes her too, apparently, because when she performed for both of them, people from Zon and people from Piltover were like rushing forward to listen to her. They had like light sticks going, they were singing
Okay.
along, like everybody was enjoying the performance, and it hit her that this was a glimpse of what they could have. For the first time, she heard the song of unity, and she made it her goal to use her voice to unite the two cities that she loved.
Seraphine for president
Literally.
2024. Yes, like...
Yeah, actually, like she's doing work out there, let me tell you. You might see her as just a pretty bubblegum pop princess, but let me tell you, the bitch does work. Like, and she's also just like, she is very cute. Like, her design is very, very cute.
I feel like she kind of fits, like, okay, seeing her, I would be like Demacia, as somebody who has no idea
So
about
that's what I
anything
thought.
about League related.
I
If she
100% thought
had,
she was Demacia.
right, exactly, but the pink hair, right, is
Mm-hmm.
not very Demacia, so
True.
like that's where I was like, if she had like blonde hair or like brown hair or like white hair, Demacia, but with the pink hair,
Ionia?
Zon?
Zon?
I feel like
Ixtal?
Zon's pretty like
Definitely not Ixtal, but
neon-y.
yeah, I could see that actually, yeah, because it is very much like, it almost feels like Zon is heading more towards like that cyberpunk dystopian kind of vibe
Exactly.
versus
Yeah.
Piltover is very like steampunk utopian.
Yeah.
So I could see that for sure. And like honestly, after reading it, like taking a really long look at her skins and everything, I was like, no, dude, she does have the presence of like a Zonite. Like I see a lot of similarity in like her color pops and like her, like everybody in Zon feels so unique. It just kind of makes sense for her to belong there.
Yeah. I feel like she needs her own realm, which is just like a big cloud with like
Right.
unicorns on it. You know?
No, I'm into it. Yeah. I like it. I like the sound of that.
Like
Um
Loki.
Speaking of how cute she is though, so this is her base skin, and I've got a slide for each of them because I think there's the splash art's so pretty. I wanted to
It
showcase them all.
is really pretty.
Her base skin to me is one of the prettiest like base skins. There's a few that I really like. Like I love Renata's because it's really cool looking. Or honestly, I'm a really big fan of Milio's because it's so colorful and bright. But like Seraphine's is just stunning, and it's like it very much encapsulates her because it's got like all of these like it's got her speakers and her platform and like the crowd around her and everything. So honestly, she just came in really strong, I think, as a
Yeah.
character when she was released.
And that's
Um
pretty like lore like based too, like this
yeah.
this picture and like her outfit and like it is pretty
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah. So next up we have Graceful Phoenix, which is just I think a traditional Chinese inspired skin. And then Fairy Court, this was the first skin that was released when I was playing her. Like or like the most like the newest skin that was released when I was playing with her. And I wanted it so badly, but I pulled from a box and got her ultimate skin, so I just used that nonstop instead.
I mean, it is a really pretty
It's
skin.
so
Like,
pretty. I love the butterflies and like I kind of mess with the green to pink ombre.
and I like her microphone kind of as like a crystally staff kind of
Mm-hmm.
wand thing. I kind
Yeah,
of
it's
I
very
like it.
cute. And I like that her
Hmm.
platform is almost like this like ethereal, like
I was literally gonna say
solidified
ethereal.
pond. Yeah, yeah, it
It's like,
is. It
I'm
is
just like
very
thinking of like it is. That is
No,
ethereal.
it's 100% is. I think it's really cute. And then she was recently added to Star Guardian with the last batch of Star Guardian skins. So this is Star Guardian Seraphine. From what I understand, she's kind of like a little silly goose when it comes to being a Star Guardian too, which I think is funny because like she is very like positive, but she's actually super smart. So I think it's funny how they kind of portray her in the comics as like kind of being a little on like the like overly zealous, like cutesy wootsy part because she is definitely more than that. One of my personal favorite skins ever is Ocean Song. Like the Prestige more than the normal one because I think the normal one's
Oh
overshadowed
yeah.
by Nidalee. But this Prestige skin is
No,
so
it's beautiful.
pretty. It's one
Like
of the only
it
ones
is.
I don't have. I'm like, I need it.
No,
Star
the
Guardian's
prestige
the other.
like that's like one of the best. I think that that's one of the prettiest skins
This
like
is one of the
that
most
I've
beautiful
seen.
splash arts I've seen in the entire game.
Yes.
It is stunning. And then so her all out skin is the way that it works. When I got it, I was so stoked, and then I learned I had to actually like level it up. You have to do like
Oh.
challenges with Seraphine in order to level up her skin. So when you start, you get this indie one, and she's got her cat Bow, and she's got like the cute little Poro in the background, and like she's very like recording songs on her laptop. And then you do
Mhm.
challenges, and she gets to this like rising star, which I assume is supposed to be around the time that she starts doing like performances in Piltover, and people start kind of like recognizing her.
Okay.
And then finally, you get her KDA all out. And I think it's kind of funny because, like, her hair goes from being straight pink to pink and blue to purple. And so I love seeing that, like, evolution of, like, people say that when you go through, like,
Mhm.
these huge changes in your life, that you, like, do things drastic to your hair. And I just imagine her, like, going darker and darker in color the more famous she gets.
I really like that one, the KD8 Superstar. I feel like
It's
it's pretty cool.
so pretty. I play with this
Like,
skin all the time. They did such a good
yeah.
job on it. Um
Yeah, that is nice.
and like I honestly I wish that they had given her a little more personality, cuz like this is how I picture her. She is just part of KDA. Like that's her
Mhm.
character. Reading her lore has definitely helped me out, but like I feel like they pushed her into the KDA and they came out with this skin and like they made her so pop starry. Dude, I want Piltover Seraphine. Like I want like
Yeah.
Piltover like normal ass like boring clothing.
Cyberpunky, but like,
Yeah, I want
yeah.
it. And then I put her Wild Rift skins in here. So this is Crystal Rose Seraphine.
That's so cute.
Dude,
That's so
Wild
cute.
Rift gets the best skins because this one's
Oh
cute,
my
and then
god.
this is her Mythmaker skin on Wild Rift.
What? That's
They're
so
both so
cute.
cute.
Wait,
I
Seraphine
want
with dark hair
them.
though? Cute.
Okay, so I
Like,
was gonna say I love the dark hair on her, like a
yeah,
lot, because
me too.
like I feel like I'm so used to her being like bubblegum pop princess, beautiful, like cutesy, that seeing her as this almost like very traditional dark haired like um kind of like it I think it's supposed to be like Year of the Bunny themed.
Hmm.
But like seeing this is like what a cute new look for her.
No, like I love it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love to see it. Like although like love the bubblegum pink, this is
Yes.
like so like I don't know.
It's
It's
like
aesthetic.
it
It
feels like
hits
it
a different
has
spot.
substance too. Like it feels like okay,
Yeah.
like we're finally this is who you are. Like you're stepping out of this like you're always so flashy and in the spotlight and everything, and this feels so humbled. I love
Yeah.
this look for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really upset that this isn't on League. This is only Wild Rift on like mobile because I
Oh, that's
want
so
this skin
sad.
so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. No, and the
um
bunny ears too. Like
I
sorry,
know they're
but it's
so
like
really slay. I love this.
it is so slay.
But yeah, so those are her skins. And then as far as voice lines, honestly, there's not a whole bunch that I love. A lot of them are very centered around music. Like she's always saying things like, you know, Piltover and Zahn seem like they sing in a perfect harmony and like all this stuff. But these are some
Hmm.
of my favorites. So she has when you're like just auto walking, she has one that says everyone's singing the same song and they don't even know it. And so she has
That is
all
very
like
lore.
yeah. So all of her lines are pretty lore based. Like she has some like funny ones. But as far as like normal ones, she says things like some songs start with a rhyme, some with a rhythm, mine starts with a crowd. Uh Even if I heard every song, it would never be enough. And then she has like these really like this is where I feel like her Zahn side comes out because she's got these like lines that she says where we get as close to death as we can to feel alive. We fight for our lives every day, every one of us. Folks only love a reflection when it isn't theirs. Like she has these like dark lines that come out of nowhere, and I feel like it's
Out of
that
left field.
yeah, like I feel like that it's like that like Zahn and Piltover side of her fighting internally where like she's positive but sometimes she's kind of dark. Like it gets there. Um
Yeah.
and then I have some memes. So, when the
Okay,
Skarner
but
thing was happening on the left, it's Riot. Our new champion is hashtag humble and hashtag relatable. Also Riot, just Seraphine. And using the crystal of an extinct race to power your hoverboard. Um,
it's like oop.
and then when Gwen gets released, I don't want to play with you anymore. Uh,
Oh,
because she was,
oh,
and then
with the Toy Story.
And then her and Sona, so she was originally supposed to be Sona's rework. So
Oh.
yeah, so that's why it says like needs to find the difference between this picture and it's the Office meme of saying
Yeah.
they're the same picture. Because like Sona, all of Sona's abilities technically are also abilities that Seraphine has. Seraphine was just meant to be a rework for Sona and then was so different that they decided to make her a separate chance. Or champ. And then it's funny to me because like if they meet in lane, she has this voice line where she goes, Sona, your song is so wow, and it's like super condescending and mean. She also, if she kills Jin, she does the 1 2 3 1 2 like that he does. She like mocks him. It's crazy. She's so honestly, she's
Wait,
so
that's
mean.
so funny.
I know.
Toxicity to the max. Holy.
Literally. And then this is one of my favorites where it says Seraphine when she finds out that the Hex Tech relies on crystals which have Bracken souls. Oh no. Anyway.
Anyway.
Anyways.
It's like dot dot dot. Ooh.
Yeah, because like the big thing was in the lore, like they she went from being complicit to ignorant. So like before she knew what was happening and she was just okay with it, and now she's just like completely oblivious to like the soul that's in the crystal. And then the last one is exactly what happened to me because I started hating Seraphine and so I was like, I don't want to play her anymore. And then I pulled the ultimate skin and just like this, I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
It's like, fuck it.
Literally,
it's now,
I was
it has
like,
to be my main. It's gotta be.
I pulled the ultimate skin. I was like, that's too. I have to do it, right? Like I have to play her now. And then this last one is my actual favorite, which is Ari using magic to charm. Evelyn uses demonic power to charm. Rakan uses his natural handsomeness to charm. Seraphine
just a roar.
Just yelling into the void to charm people. But yeah, that's all I got. That is Seraphine in a nutshell.
Wow. I mean, definitely learned a lot about Seraphine, which I never knew.
I was kind of surprised her lore went as deep as it does, but I'm also kind of shocked. I was afraid that Yumi's lore was like non-existent because Bandle City is so like mysterious, you know?
Yeah, I mean it is pretty like the lore isn't like there isn't that much lore for Yuumi, but she's also a cat. Like
Yeah.
I don't really know how deep she can get. Like I guess just like her never-ending search for a master is like as deep as it could, you know?
I guess that's true. I feel like Yuumi is like that. I don't know. I kind of see Yuumi as an unhinged crackhead type of champion. Like you don't need lore really, and you don't need to have a lot of depth. You're just kind of like wild and out there all the time, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's pretty deep to TBH. Like, you know, I think she brings out like my trigger warning emotional side sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, her voice lines be hitting.
Yeah, 150%. Well,
Yeah.
that's so fun. Thanks for teaching me about Yuumi. I really did not. I really did not think that there was going to be a lot of lore to either of these, so it's been really fun to learn about both of them.
This was really fun.
Yeah.
Yes, this was good.
And then yeah, next time probably going to do the same thing. So I'm kind of excited now. I don't know about you, but as the months go by and we get to do these more often, I'm like actually more and more excited to learn about champions.
Oh yeah, me too. Like I was surprised about how like come on, Yuumi, like how much lore could they have, right? And like but finding out and like learning about Seraphine too and like her lore, like it really makes me think like and develop more of a connection and learn the characters a bit better, which I'm really liking.
It also kind of it's this funny thing of like I never in a million years would have tried Yuumi before, but now I kind of like her as a character because I think her lore is kind of like somewhat tragic. And now it's like if I were to ever randomly get her an ARAM or something or like a randomized mode, like I might actually try her.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I was thinking about Seraphine. I was like, wait, that's kind of like fun,
Oh,
and also learning about her abilities too.
I can teach you Seraphine. She easy. We'll make you a Sarah main in no time. You'll get Mastery 7 so fast. She's
Wait,
great.
I do actually. Yumi's the only character I do have mastery on, so.
Oh, just yeah, saying. Very special to you for sure. Very embodies you for sure. I think.
My first mastery. I think she's always gonna be with me. You know, she's always had a special place.
And what a champ to choose for your first.
Exactly. I know.
Okay, excellent. Well, quick appreciation coordinator. Earlier we had a raid from Kenma, so I don't know if you're still here, but thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Everyone,
Thank you
make
so
sure you give
much.
her a lot of love. Thanks also to you, Chocky, for joining me today because I would have been
Thank you
solo
for having me.
otherwise.
Of
um,
course, anytime.
and thank you for bearing with me through my PC like blowing up in my face yesterday. Um,
Oh my goodness. I'm just glad that it's not
Oh my god, me
gone
too.
longer. Like,
I
holy.
was crying thinking that it was gonna be like kaput forever. But nope,
Oh yeah.
we're back, we're good, and we will see you guys next week. But remember, Coveys, keep it real, but keep
And
it
keep it
curious.
curious.
Bye bye.